Funny thing is, everybody saw it coming. Everybody except us. Or maybe just me. Friday night, same rooftop, same people, same drinks. You sitting beside me like you always did. Somebody asked if we were dating again. You laughed, I laughed. We changed the subject again. And honestly, I started believing we'd have forever to figure it out. 'Cause every photo had you in it. Every memory started with your name. Every good night somehow ended the exact same way. Everybody knew but us, or maybe everybody knew but me. The way you leaned into my shoulder, the way you always saved to see. Ooh, I thought we were taking our time. Ooh, turns out I was just standing still while life kept moving. I rehearsed those words 1,000 times, driving home, taking showers, lying awake at 2 a.m. Hey, I think I like you, simple, right? Except every version ended the same. What if you said no? What if things got weird? What if I lost my favorite person, trying to become something more? So I stayed quiet and called it patience. Funny how fear dresses itself as wisdom. Everybody knew but us, or maybe everybody knew but me. The way my eyes kept finding you in every crowded room we'd see. Ooh, I thought there'd always be tomorrow. I thought you'd always be right here. Then one afternoon, you walked into the cafe smiling, holding somebody's hand, a hand that wasn't mine. You looked happier than I'd seen in months, and suddenly I knew exactly what I should have said 6 months ago, a year ago, anytime before this moment. This is Ethan. You said he's my boyfriend, crazy how one word can weigh 1,000 pounds. I smiled, shook his hand, said all the right things. Congratulations, happy for you. He seems great, and every sentence tasted like heartbreak. Everybody knew but us, or maybe everybody knew but me. 'Cause now you're standing next to him, the way I dreamed you'd stand with me. Ooh, the story never had a villain. Ooh, just a boy too scared to speak before the ending. Tonight the group chat still buzzing, everybody making plans. You'll probably be there, you'll probably come too, and I'll probably smile like always. But every now and then I wonder what would have happened if I stopped pretending there was nothing there. Back when everybody knew except us. TV still glowing in the dark, half the movie already gone. I don't even know what's happening anymore. And honestly, I don't care. The city's still awake outside, red taillights sliding through the rain. Somewhere downtown, somebody chasing deadlines, somebody chasing dreams, somebody chasing somebody that don't love them back. But in this little apartment, none of that can reach us. Your feet tucked underneath the blanket, cold fingers stealing my warmth again. Same as always. Funny how the loudest days always end like this. Just you, just me, just quiet. And I swear, the safest place I've ever known. Ain't no hometown, ain't a house, ain't a place on any map. It's right here, your head resting on my shoulder, while the whole world keeps rushing past. And for a little while, nothing can find us here. The movie keeps playing, characters talking, cars crashing, music swelling, but neither of us been watching for an hour. Your breathing getting slower, your eyes fighting sleep, then losing. The softest thing happened, your hair brushed against my cheek, and suddenly every problem I carried home tonight felt smaller, like somebody turned the volume down on life itself. My shoulder's starting to hurt, but I ain't moving, not tonight. 'Cause the safest place I've ever known ain't a skyline view, ain't a penthouse room, ain't a beach somewhere far away. It's right here, your head resting on my shoulder, while the city burns through another midnight. And somehow everything feels okay. Maybe peace isn't something you find, maybe peace is a person. Maybe home isn't walls and furniture, maybe home is hearing somebody breathe and realizing you don't need anything else right now. Outside, sirens echo through the streets, inside you pull a little closer in your sleep, and I think that's the whole difference. The safest place I've ever known ain't a country, ain't a city, ain't a destination. It's this couch, this moment, this ordinary Tuesday night. Your heartbeat slow, your hand finding mine without waking up, and me wishing time would forget how to move. The credits start rolling, neither of us saw the ending. Streetlights still painting gold across the window, and your head still resting here. So I'll stay awake a little longer, just to protect this moment, just a little longer.
The music was too loud to think, too loud to remember. That's why I came here tonight. A crowded room, 100 flashing lights, a little whiskey, anything to make your memory quieter. My friends were laughing, the DJ was playing our generation's anthem. Everybody looked alive, everybody looked happy, and for a moment I almost was. Then I saw you across the dance floor, through the neon haze, like a photograph. The universe forgot to blur, and there you are, the stranger I know best, the smile I could recognize from 1,000 miles away, the eyes I used to call home, now looking through me like I'm somebody else. Why'd it have to be you? The closest thing to my heart, standing so far away. You were laughing at something someone else said, the kind of laugh I used to spend entire days trying to hear. Still the same, still beautiful, still dangerous. Funny how time changes everything except the details you miss. I still knew the way you tilted your head, still knew the rhythm of your smile, still knew exactly how you look when you're genuinely happy. And somehow that hurt more, because nothing was wrong. You weren't crying, you weren't missing me, you looked okay. And there you are, the stranger I know best, the story I can still recite, word for word, the hand I used to hold, now reaching for another life. In a room full of strangers, you're the only one I know. And somehow, you're the furthest away. The lights kept flashing blue, gold, white, red, like tiny explosions across the room. Everyone dancing, everyone moving, but I couldn't, 'cause suddenly the club wasn't a club anymore. It was every memory, every late night drive, every promise, every goodbye, playing all at once. I thought I'd be angry if I ever saw you again. Thought I'd have a speech prepared, thought I'd finally get closure. Instead, I just stood there, missing someone who was standing 20 feet away. There you are, the stranger I know best, the person who still feels familiar in all the wrong ways, the face I searched for when we were together, and the face I couldn't stop finding after you left. The room kept spinning around us, but somehow time stood still. A song ended, another one began. The crowd shifted, and then you disappeared into it, just like you disappeared from my life, leaving me with one final thought, that sometimes the most painful distance isn't measured in miles, it's measured in memories. Windows down, ocean on our right, golden light on your skin, and nowhere we needed to be. The road stretched out like a ribbon, following the edge of the sea. Your hair dancing in the wind, like I knew something I didn't. The radio was playing softly, some old song neither of us recognized. But somehow it felt like the soundtrack to the exact moment we were living. The sun was falling slowly into the water, painting everything gold, including you. And I kept thinking, some things become beautiful
A few seagulls crossed the horizon. The waves kept writing stories on the shore, the kind that vanish before anyone can read them. You rested your arm against the window, watching the ocean, lost inside your own thoughts. I never asked what they were. Some mysteries deserve to stay beautiful that way. The city felt a million miles away. Deadlines, notifications, tomorrow, none of it existed here. Only the road, only the sea, only you. And somehow the quiet between us said everything. So let the coastline keep going past the places on the map. Let the sunset keep pretending the night is never coming back. Ooh, 'cause every second feels too rare. Ooh, like something we're supposed to remember. And if forever lasts a moment, I think forever might be this. Maybe that's what love becomes. Not fireworks, not dramatic speeches, not grand declarations. Maybe it's just feeling completely at peace, sitting beside somebody while the world keeps spinning without you noticing. The sky turned orange, then pink, then violet, and somehow I wished it would run out of colors slower. Don't say anything, don't break the spell, just stay right here a little longer. Coastline, keep going beyond the edge of every dream. Let the stars wait their turn tonight, 'cause the sunset still belongs to me. And every golden light on your face, ooh, feels like a photograph I'll never lose. And if I could stop time anywhere, I'd stop it right here with you. The last piece of sunlight disappeared. The ocean turned silver, the headlights came on, and the road kept moving forward. But for one perfect evening, it felt like the sunset stayed just a little longer for us. For us. It wasn't a movie scene, no fireworks in the sky, no sign from the universe, just another Tuesday afternoon, or so I thought. I'd spent years collecting goodbyes, different names, different faces, same ending every time. A couple scars hidden behind jokes, a heart that learned how not to expect too much. Love became something I listened to in songs, not something I thought I'd find. Then one rainy afternoon, I walked into a little coffee shop, trying to escape the weather, and accidentally walked into you. You looked up for half a second, smiled politely, and somehow For the first time in years, I wasn't thinking about the past. It was an ordinary day, an ordinary cup of coffee, an ordinary conversation that turned into my favorite memory. 'Cause then I met you, and everything started making sense. The pieces finally fit together without even trying. Maybe that's why I love this story. It didn't arrive like lightning, it arrived like sunlight, slowly, quietly, warming everything it touched. One text message, one laugh, one dinner, one weekend, until suddenly I couldn't imagine life without you. No fireworks, no destiny written in the stars, just two people meeting at exactly the right time. It was an ordinary day until it became the day I tell my future kids about someday. The day everything changed. You made the ordinary beautiful. You made the simple unforgettable. 'Cause I spent years looking for something extraordinary and found it sitting across from me in a little coffee shop on the most ordinary day of my life. The rain stopped eventually. People came and went. The city kept moving like nothing important had happened, but it had. Because somewhere between a cup of coffee and a simple hello, my life quietly started getting better, and it never stopped. Funny how life works. A million little accidents leading to one person, leading to you. What if I missed that train? What if I stayed 5 minutes longer? What if I never took that job on the other side of town? What if I turned left that morning instead of right? Would your eyes still have found mine somewhere beneath the same sky? Sometimes I think about it, all the tiny moments nobody notices, until years later when they become the reason everything happened. Every wrong turn, every heartbreak, every closed door, every mistake. Somehow they carried me here. A million little chances, a million little roads, a million tiny decisions nobody could control. Ooh. And somehow every single one led me straight to you. Like the stars were quietly working long before we knew. There were days I almost gave up, years I felt completely lost, trying to make sense of chapters that hurt to read back then. I called it bad luck, now I call it directions. Maybe life was moving pieces across a giant board I couldn't see. Maybe every goodbye was making space for your hello. 'Cause looking back now, nothing feels random anymore. A million little chances, a million passing days, a million strangers in the world, yet somehow our paths crossed anyway. Ooh, what are the odds of one small detail changed, will we still be standing here? Maybe not. And somehow that makes this moment feel even more beautiful, because out of every version of life, this is the one that happened, the one where I found you. Not by magic, not by fate alone, but by thousands of ordinary moments, choosing each other again and again. A million little chances, a million reasons why we should have stayed strangers passing by. But the universe kept whispering through every winding road, until your hand found mine, and suddenly everything made sense. Little chances, a million little signs, leading me through a lifetime to the right place at the right time. So maybe love isn't finding someone, maybe love is realizing every step before them was already leading there. And if I had to live it all again, every wrong turn, every long night, every broken piece, I'd choose them all just to find you one more time. We climbed so high tonight, the city looks like a galaxy from up here. Everything feels smaller, except you. We found the tallest rooftop in the city, just to see how far our eyes could travel. Thousands of little lights below us, blinking like man-made constellations. Cars moving like rivers of gold, people chasing places they'll forget tomorrow. And there we were, dangling our feet above the noise, talking about everything and nothing at the same time. You told me about the countries you still wanna see, the oceans you haven't touched yet, the versions of yourself you're still becoming. The night was wide open, like it was listening to every dream we spoke out loud. We used to think we have to leave this world to find something beautiful, maybe fly beyond the clouds, maybe find another universe. But sitting here beside you makes the whole sky feel closer. Maybe happiness ain't somewhere far away, maybe it's already here, closer than the stars. A cold wind danced through your hair, you pointed toward the horizon, like all your future lives somewhere beyond it. I watched your eyes light up while you talked about tomorrow, and suddenly the city didn't feel crowded anymore. The world didn't feel heavy anymore. For years I thought peace was a destination, a plane ticket, a different life, a better version of now. But maybe peace is simpler than that. Maybe peace is having somebody you can dream beside. The moon stay quiet, but somehow it felt like it agreed. We used to think we have to leave this world to touch something magical, maybe run away from all the noise. stars closer than Saturn, closer than the moon, closer than every place we say. We visit soon one day, maybe we'll stand in Paris, maybe Tokyo, maybe somewhere neither of us can pronounce. Yeah, we'll take pictures, miss flights, get lost in beautiful places. But I think years from now, when I remember this night, I won't remember the dreams we talked about. I remember who I was sitting beside when I dreamed them. The city kept glowing, the stars kept shining, time kept moving. But for a little while, nothing needed fixing, nothing needed changing, everything was enough. We used to think we had to leave this world to finally feel alive, chasing distant galaxies, searching for a better sky. But all the answers found me on a rooftop after midnight. Oh, with your hand close to mine, and the future in our eyes. Maybe happiness was never hiding in another city, another life, another planet. Maybe happiness was sitting right here, dreaming beside me, closer than the stars. The skyline shimmered, the night grew quiet. You leaned against my shoulder, and somewhere between the city lights and the endless sky above, I stopped wishing to be somewhere else. Because for the first time, I already was. Summer nights, blue water, palm trees, and your smile catching every light in the room.
Yeah, I remember that night.
The pool was glowing turquoise under 100 little lights. People jumping in fully dressed, laughing like tomorrow didn't exist. The DJ kept playing summer anthems, the speakers shaking in the backyard fence. Everybody dancing, everybody drinking, everybody somewhere in the moment. But me, I kept looking for you every time. Across the water, across the crowd, across every conversation, my eyes kept finding you. So when the last song played, I was still thinking about you. When the night got quiet, I was still standing next to you.
Everybody else was leaving,
But I was hoping you'd stay,
'cause something in the air felt different.
like the world was waiting too.
One by one the cars disappeared, the laughter slowly faded. The music moved farther away until it became part of the night. Only a few lights remained, dancing across the water,
Like tiny stars swimming in the pool. You sat beside me, bare feet touching the edge, neither of us saying much. Funny how silence feels different when it's with the right person. It wasn't awkward, it wasn't empty, it was comfortable. Like we'd been heading toward that moment long before we knew it. You looked at me, I looked at you, and suddenly every distraction disappeared. When the last song played, the whole world faded in a background noise. When the night got quiet, I finally heard my heart.
no fireworks in the sky.
No movie scene to guide us, just two people sitting by the water, and the feeling neither wanted to leave. Maybe some moments don't need words, maybe some stories start in the spaces between them.
The reflection of the moon, the scent of summer air,
The music echoing from somewhere far away.
everything slowing down at exactly the right time.
You smiled, I smiled.
somehow
that was enough when the last song played. You moved a little closer. When the night got quiet, the distance finally disappeared. Ooh,
like we both been waiting
for the same moment all along.
and when our lips finally met,
it didn't feel surprising.
it felt familiar,
like something the universe had postponed until the perfect night.
the water still shimmered,
The music still drifted through the dark,
the summer air stayed warm,
and somewhere between midnight
and the first kiss,
the best memory of that summer began. Some days break you slowly, some days break you all at once. This was one of those days, missed calls on my phone, deadlines turning into disasters, another meeting gone wrong, another promise I couldn't keep. The city felt heavier than usual. Every red light lasted too long. Every mile home felt like 10. I kept rehearsing explanations for why I wasn't okay, but by the time I reached the front door, I didn't have any words left. Just silence, just exhaustion, just me trying to hold myself together. One more minute, then you wrapped your arms around me, and suddenly I could breathe again. No questions, no fixing, no trying to understand. Ooh, you didn't need to save the day. You just made the pain feel lighter. And in that moment, your arms were enough. The world kept spinning outside, bills still existed, problems still waiting, tomorrow still coming. Nothing had changed, and somehow everything had changed. You rested your head against my shoulder, like you could hear the war inside me without me saying a thing. No speeches, no advice, no. Everything happens for a reason. Just your heartbeat steady, patient, close. Funny how love speaks loudest when it says almost nothing. You wrapped your arms around me, and all the noise faded away. The weight I carried through the city didn't feel impossible to hold. You never tried to be a hero, but somehow you rescued me. And in that moment, your arms were enough. Maybe healing isn't always dramatic. Maybe it isn't finding answers. Maybe it's finding someone who stays while you figure them out. Maybe love isn't fixing broken things. Maybe it's sitting beside them until they don't feel broken anymore. No magic words, no perfect solution, just your hand on my back, your cheek against my chest, and the quiet reminder that I wasn't carrying everything alone. You wrapped your arms around me, and for the first time all day, I stopped fighting, stopped running, stopped pretending I was okay. Ooh, the world could wait until tomorrow. Ooh, tonight I just needed you, and somehow that simple little moment, that simple little hug was stronger than all the problems waiting outside that door. The apartment stayed quiet. The night moved slowly, and eventually the tension left my shoulders. Not because life got easier, not because the problems disappeared, but because you were there, holding me when I needed it most. And sometimes that's more than enough.
Tonight the city's dressed in gold, champagne sitting untouched. Your picture still lives somewhere in this room, and for the first time I'm not reaching for it. I used to think that love was holding tighter, holding on until your hands turn white, fighting every goodbye, arguing with fate, trying to bend the world into the shape I wanted. But somewhere between the sleepless nights and all the conversations we never finished, I finally understood you were growing toward a future that didn't have my name in it. And who am I to stand between you and your happiness? So go, baby, go where your heart feels free, even if it leaves an empty chair beside me. Ooh, I still love you, that's exactly why I'm opening my hands tonight. Love ain't always staying. Sometimes love means letting go. I still remember Sunday mornings, coffee cooling by the window, the way you'd hum old songs without realizing you were singing. Some memories don't fade, they become part of the furniture, living quietly inside the soul. But lately, when I look at you, I don't see someone leaving, I see someone becoming the person they were meant to be. And somehow that makes me proud more than it breaks my heart. So go, baby, chase the life you dream about, even if I can't walk beside you now. Ooh, I still need you more than I can explain. But real love doesn't build a cage. Love opens every door and lets the sun shine in. Even if it shines on someone else, even if it shines somewhere I'm not, maybe one day you'll be laughing in another city, holding another hand, watching another sunset. And maybe for one brief second you'll remember me, not as the man who begged you to stay, but as the man who loved you enough to wish you well anyway. No villains, no broken promises, no final fight, just two people standing at different crossroads. 'cause tonight I stopped asking life to keep you and started thanking life for letting me love you at all. Goodbye, beautiful, go be happy.
Two oh 3 a.m. Phone lighting up in the dark. Somehow I already knew it was you. The city's still awake outside my window. Red tail lights drifting through the rain. My TV's talking to an empty room, but I ain't listening anyway. I was halfway falling asleep, halfway lost inside tomorrow. Then your name appeared across my screen, like it always knows exactly when I need it. I answered on the first ring. You laughed and said, of course you did. You said, I miss you, nothing more, nothing less, just 3 little words floating through the speaker. Ooh. And suddenly my whole night changed. Ooh. Like your voice turned this room into home. The world kept spinning, but for a little while it was just us. And 2:03 a.m. You weren't crying, nothing was wrong, no emergency, no dramatic reason for calling. You just wanted to hear me breathe. Funny how love grows up when you're younger. You think it's fireworks, big speeches, movie scenes. Now it feels more like this, calling somebody in the middle of the night just because they're your favorite person. The silence wasn't awkward, it felt expensive, like something rare. You said, I miss you, and somehow that simple sentence hit harder than poetry. Ooh. 'Cause you weren't calling for attention, you were calling because it was me. And I ain't no better feeling than being someone's first thought after midnight. Can you hear me? Yeah, I'm still here. Minutes turned into hours, neither of us noticed. You told me random stories about your day. I told you things I probably wouldn't say in daylight. Then eventually we stopped talking, but neither of us hung up. Just listening to the quiet, to the breathing, to the comfort of knowing someone else was awake with us. No music, no city lights, no distance, no miles, just two hearts finding each other through a tiny speaker. You said, I miss you. Maybe that's all love really is. Not grand gestures, not perfect timing, just choosing each other again and again. Oh, even from different rooms, different beds, different sides of town. Ooh, you still make the world feel smaller and somehow safer every time you call at 2:03 a.m. The line stayed open long after the conversation ended. Your breathing slowed until I knew you were asleep. I smile, close my eyes, and let the silence stay. Because sometimes the most beautiful sound in the world is knowing somebody misses you enough to call.
Screen lights up in the dark. One name, one mistake, one weakness, and there I go again. Yeah. My friends keep telling me you gotta let it go, like it's some switch inside my chest I forgot to turn off. They don't know how your voice sounds through a half-empty apartment, or how every goodbye from you always feels temporary. You disappear for weeks and show up like nothing happened, and somehow I always answer. I know you're trouble, I know the ending already, but every time you call, my heart rewrites the story. 'Cause every midnight contact feels like lightning in my bloodstream. I know you'll break me eventually, still I run toward you. Every warning sign is flashing red, every lesson says I should forget, but when your name lights on my phone, my logic dies and my soul says yes. You're the habit I can't quit, the fire I walk into willingly. Last time you left, I swore that was the final time. Deleted pictures, muted memories, started sleeping better than Friday night arrived. City lights reflecting through my penthouse glass. Everything looked perfect, success, money, new faces, but none of them felt like you. Then my phone vibrated, and suddenly months of progress collapsed in 3 seconds. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You don't even have to try, that's what scares me. You still got access to places nobody else can reach. 'Cause every midnight contact feels like heaven mixed with danger. I know you'll leave me hurting, still I open every door. Every scar you gave me still remains. Yeah, somehow I keep dancing in the rain. 'Cause when your name lights up my phone, the lonely part of me wins again. Ooh, you're the drug behind my smile, the beautiful disaster in my life. Maybe I don't love you, maybe I love the version of us that only exists between midnight and sunrise. Maybe I'm addicted to hope, maybe I'm addicted to pain, maybe they're the same thing. Now call me just one more time, tell me one more lie, hold me one more night before you disappear again. Every midnight contact still send the electricity through my body. I know this road leads nowhere good, still I drive it every time. Friends say one day I'll learn the truth, maybe they're right, but tonight ain't that night. 'Cause when your name lights up my phone, I still become the man that loves you, even when I know I shouldn't, even when it costs me everything to 4:14 a.m. Your name fades from the screen. The room gets quiet again. And deep down, I already know I'll answer next time too. The city's glowing outside tonight. Everything's ready. I'm just waiting for you. Got off work an hour early. Something told me tonight should be different. Stop by that little flower shop on 7th Avenue. The lady smiled and said, special occasion. I just smiled back, 'cause honestly, every night with you feels like one. Now your favorite roses sitting on the counter like they're waiting to jazz, floating through the apartment. Wine, breathing in crystal glasses. The skyline, dressed up in diamonds. And somehow I'm still missing the best part, 'cause all this light don't mean a thing until you walk through that door. The city can shine all night, but it ain't brighter than before. I've got your favorite song playing, your favorite flowers by the floor. Everything is perfect, except you're not here yet. I'm waiting for your footsteps, waiting for your smile to fill the room. The candles making shadows dance across the living room walls. Traffic drifting underneath the balcony. Tiny rivers of headlights moving through the dark, like everybody rushes somewhere, while I'd happily stay frozen here for hours. If it means seeing your face next, I keep checking the clock, then laughing at myself like someone staring at time. Gonna make it move faster. The record reaches side B, the wine is almost lonely, and every little detail keeps reminding me who all this was for. 'Cause all this light don't mean a thing until you walk through that door. I've rehearsed 100 ways to say I missed you even more. Your empty chair across from mine, still the center of the room. Everything is ready, the night is waiting to for that little look you give me, the one that still feels brand new. Maybe love ain't fireworks, maybe it ain't grand gestures, maybe it's just this, cleaning up the apartment, choosing the right playlist, pouring 2 glasses instead of wanting, getting excited because somebody's coming home. I can almost hear your keys, almost hear you laughing, almost hear you say, sorry I'm late. And honestly, that might be my favorite song. All these city lights below us can't compete with your eyes. The moon hanging over downtown, just another decoration tonight. 'Cause the moment that bell finally rings and you step into my arms, this ordinary evening turns into a memory. The flowers finally have a reason in the air, your hand in mine, and neither of us saying it, but we both know this summer hasn't ended. You got sand on your sneakers, sunlight in your hair, Polaroid scattered on the dashboard from every place we've been. We're laughing in the photos like time ain't running, like September ain't waiting around the corner. Funny thing is, nobody broke anybody's heart, nobody did anything wrong. Life just decided our roads were heading different ways, so we keep dancing around the truth like kids running from the tide, knowing eventually it's gonna catch us. So let's make this the best summer ever. Let's stay out till the sky turns lavender. Let's take too many pictures, sing too loud in the car, fall a little deeper even if it leaves a scar. Cause every sunset feels brighter now. Every moment hits different somehow. Maybe things are beautiful because they don't last forever. One last summer before the seasons change. We drove all the way to the coastline just to watch the day disappear. Orange skies melting into the ocean like the universe was showing off. You leaned your head against my shoulder, didn't say a word, didn't need to. The silence knew everything already. Every smile lately feels heavier, every kiss stays longer. Every goodbye at your front door feels like practice for the real one. But tonight ain't about endings, tonight belongs to us. So let's make this the best summer ever. Let's chase the moonlight down the boulevard together. Let's buy cheap drinks and expensive memories. Hold on tight to every second that we breathe, cause every sunset feels brighter now. Every heartbeat sounds louder somehow. Maybe things are beautiful because they don't last forever. One last summer before the seasons change. Maybe years from now you'll hear a song in a grocery store, or smell sunscreen somewhere, and suddenly you'll remember this. The ocean, the laughter, the way we looked at each other like we were trying to memorize everything. No tears tonight, no promises we can't keep, no pretending forever belongs to us. Just this moment, just this beach, just this version of you and me. Let's make this the best summer ever. Let's turn every sunset into treasure. Let's leave our footprints where the waves can't stay, and love each other fully anyway. Cause every sunset feels brighter now. Every goodbye gets harder now. Maybe things are beautiful because they don't last forever. One last summer, and I wouldn't change a thing. Golden hour fades, the ocean keeps rolling. You squeeze my hand a little tighter, and somewhere beyond the horizon, the future is waiting, but not tonight, tonight, tonight. We still belong to summer.
Your morning begins while my city fades to black. Somewhere between the sunrise and the moonlight, we keep finding each other. When your alarm clock starts singing, mine is finally silent. You're pouring coffee by the window, I'm watching headlights disappear below. How half a world apart, different skies, different weather, different days, but somehow the first thing we both reach for is the same screen. We keep missing calls, missing moments, missing chances to hear each other's voice, but somehow we never miss each other. Between your sunrise and my midnight, between your daylight and my stars, there's a little message waiting, like a bridge between two hearts. You say, sleep well, baby. I say, have a beautiful day. And suddenly the distance doesn't feel so far away. Love lives in the smallest things, like your name writing up my screen. You send pictures of the morning sky, I send pictures of city lights. Sometimes we're living the same day, 12 hours apart. You tell me about traffic, I tell you about the moon. You talk about lunch breaks, I'm already dreaming. Funny how life works, we're never standing in the same hour, yet somehow we're always standing on the same side. No grand gestures, no movie scenes, just consistency. And maybe that's more romantic. Between your sunrise and my midnight, between your ocean and my rain, there's 1,000 little messages keeping us connected every day. You say, good night, love. I say, good morning, beautiful. And suddenly the whole world feels smaller again. Love travels faster than airplanes, faster than the spinning earth. One day there'll be no countdown, no calculating time zones, no checking if you're awake, no missed calls, no sleeping alone. Just one city, one sunrise, one midnight together. But until then I'll keep leaving pieces of my heart inside every message, waiting for you to wake up. Good morning, good night, good morning, good night. Funny how four simple words can hold so much love. Between your sunrise and my midnight, between tomorrow and today, there's a love that's quietly growing every single day. You wake up to my message, I fall asleep with yours, and somehow that's enough to make this world feel warmer. The stars keep turning above us, but they always lead me back to you. Your sun is rising, my city is asleep, and somewhere in between a notification appears, a tiny light on a screen, carrying a simple message across oceans, across time zones, across the world. I miss you, and somehow that's everything.